Hello everyone, I am Nika H. Perez and I'm very excited to share to you our topic for today. In this video, you will know what is oral communication, its type and its basic elements. What is oral communication? Oral communication is communicating with spoken words. It's a verbal form of communication where you communicate your thoughts, present ideas, and share information. An example of oral communication are conversations, presentations, or speeches. It can be directly in person or in a face-to-face interaction or through an electronic device such as phone or radio. And these are the two types of oral communication, the face-to-face communication and the use of mechanical devices. Under face-to-face communication, there are meetings, group discussion, interviews, and presentations. For the use of mechanical devices, there are telephones, loudspeaker system, and radio phones. Let's go over each type one by one. Face-to-face communication, the first one is meetings. It is an assembly for a common purpose, or it is a group of communication in action around a defined agenda at a set time for an established duration. In every organization, besides one-to-one communication, there are occasions where personnel gather to discuss topics common to the group. It can be effective, ineffective, or a complete waste of time. The second is group discussions. You are taking part in discussion to learn, to examine issues, to share ideas, to listen to the ideas and points of view of others. Then, interviews. It is a meeting of two persons which enable them to know more about each other through dialogue and personal interaction. It is a conversation between two or more people where questions are asked by the interviewer to elicit facts or statements from the interviewee. This is particularly useful when it comes to selecting applicants for jobs, scholarships, or admission to courses. The last one is presentations. It is a means of communication that can be adapted to various speaking situations such as talking to a group, addressing a meeting, or briefing a team. It requires you to get a message across to the listeners and it often contains persuasive element. For the use of mechanical device, the first one is telephones. It is a convenient and quickest method of communication. Telephone communication permits conversations to be carried on between people that is separated by almost any distance. Then, radio phones. It is a device for communication that is not connected by wire but facilitates oral communication. This is otherwise called a wireless system. Whenever we had a simple conversations with our colleagues, we're already engaged in communication. And communication has five basic elements. The first one is sender. It is the person who initiates communication to the receiver. It is also called the speaker or the communicator who wants to send or express a message. The second one is receiver. It is the person who listens and decodes the messages sent by the sender. In order to comprehend the information from the sender, the receiver must first be able to receive and then decode or interpret it. Third is the message. It contains information, ideas, opinions, thoughts, or emotions. It is the subject matter of this communication process. It could be an agenda, suggestions, or an order. The fourth one is channel. It is the medium or the means of communication that is used to deliver the message. If you want to send a message to your students or text a message to your students, you can use your cell phone or laptop in order to deliver the message. It acts a connection between the sender and the receiver. The fifth one is the feedback, which refers to the reactions, responses, or information provided by the receiver. The communication process reaches its final point when the message has been transmitted, received, and understood. Feedback is essential to the communication to be successful one. But remember, no response is also a response. Here is an example of the communication process. The sender here is Jan and the receiver here is Jane. The sender uses his cell phone to send the message. And then, after receiving the message, Jane now decodes the message and then encodes her response back to the sender. After receiving the feedback from Jane, Jan will now decode and the cycle of the communication process goes on. But there are some elements that might cause misunderstanding, such as noise and the context. And that is the end of my discussion. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned from this video.